Yo, what is going on, guys? It is Jay here, aka Mojo Autographs, coming at you guys on this Monday, November 18th night here with the little podcast. If you guys don't know me, I'm on Instagram, Mojo Autographs, or on YouTube, same name, Mojo Autographs. If you're not an autograph collector, let me just give you a disclaimer. You're going to think this podcast is fucking weird. Anyway, that's just the general thing. I have to give a disclaimer because people that collect autographs will completely understand most of everything I'm saying. If you do not collect autographs, if you're not an in-person autograph collector, a lot of what I'm talking about is going to be either boring or you're going to think we're absolutely insane, which is normal because a lot of people don't understand us, like why we crave the auto. But anyway, the whole point of this podcast is I'm excited because I'm going to be able to I'm going to do 10 to 15 minute episodes just talking about different things in the autograph industry, which to me is going to be pretty cool. A nice little reflection on my part, and this is just my opinion after being around here for a little bit. I've been collecting autographs since 2010 and it's changed a lot, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Like, how has the autograph game changed? And it has changed a lot, and part of that is social media and a lot of different factors. So I mean, it's pretty interesting how far we've come with autographs. I think, back in the day it was so simple. People would just get Babe Ruth on note cards and all that stuff, and Yogi Berra and all those old timer baseball players. They'd just get them on simple stuff. And then if you fast forward to the NBA hoops days back in the 90s, they were getting Jordan on NBA hoops cards, and then you transfer forward and you got photos and baseballs and jerseys and all that stuff. And it's so funny. Can you imagine back in the day they're telegramming oh dude, Lou Gehrig just came out of the Grand Hyatt Sheraton Grand Hotel. It's not like they did that. They didn't have social media. Now with Twitter and Instagram and all this other craziness, LeBron's at the freaking In-N-Out ordering a lettuce wrap protein burger because someone's posted it on their Snapchat story, and there's 5 other autographers waiting outside the In-N-Out in Beverly Hills, right? But it's pretty crazy. Social media does that, and we're diving into a rough treaded waters. A couple years ago, if you asked me this question, I would get really uncomfortable, but today I can answer it. It's hey, you think your Autographs 101 gig kind of ruined autographs, you know that, right? And my original response would have been yeah, so what, go fuck yourself. I was just all hyped up when people would ask me that and state the obvious. And now I have to admit, I have matured more to realize that what Autographs 101 did was in a way ruin autographs. But for me personally, it united me with an autograph community and a host of friends, right? It sounds like the Bible over here, a host of friends. Just a bunch of people that I was able to be cool with, and whenever I'd go autograph in a city, it would be a unity thing, man. Be able to meet these people, hey man, I just met Jason Ganzer, I just met this guy from Autographs 101, or all this stuff. And a lot of people would come up to me and ask hey, are you Jay from Autographs 101? And they'd meet me, and it was just a cool thing, man. Guys like Tony Varvel, rest in peace, he passed away about a year ago. That was a good guy that I met because of Autographs 101, and there was a father that was autographing with his kids one day, and I met him at Angels Camp, and that would have never happened. I would never would have had that guy in my life, and he ended up being a really big blessing in my life. He passed away a year ago, which just goes to show you, I was able to meet some really amazing people through autographs, and that is a direct result of Autographs 101. And now with Instagram and everything, I get to meet Instagram people, and they are super appreciative of what I've been able to do with the autograph community. I've always tried to help people, and people have had my back, and I've always appreciated that, man. Through thick and thin, the autograph community has policed itself, and they've been there for me, and I've tried to be there for you guys, and it's really cool, man, to see what social media has done. Another aspect to think about is the numbers of people who say that they're not going to sell autographs and then they end up selling them, right? That's a tough thing, man, because that is really a big topic that nobody talks about, how autographs has changed. Think about the selling market these days. You go to the team hotel and you see 3 children there with 3 authentic size extra large jerseys, and you got to wonder, wow, those are going to look beautifully framed above their beds, right? I'm just thinking about that. I'm just yeah, it's changed a lot, There's more people at the hotel. There's a lot more hustling involved. A lot of people say they'll never sell their autographs, but they end up doing it. And, I've been one of those people. When I first collected autographs, I remember this, I call them the old timers, but an old guy out here was telling me, he's so you're telling me you're not going to sell anything? I was no, I'll never sell autographs. I don't want to be like you. And the funniest thing is that I contradicted myself probably a year and a half, 2 years later, because when I sold my first autograph, I was oh my God, I can make money doing this. This is kind of cool. And it kind of it was interesting because I was able to fund what what I was doing. I was able to fund my graphing trips because I was selling stuff, trading stuff, and all that, which is kind of sad looking back. Like I've probably sold and traded a couple items that I wish I still had, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like my Bryce Harper Mike Trout ball was very special to me, and there's a couple other baseballs, but I was able to keep a lot of cool stuff like my Clint Eastwoods, my Koufax, and there's some stuff that I do have that's priceless, all my DeMarcus Cousins stuff, which is lucky that I was able to keep those things, knowing that the monetary value just wasn't there. It's more the moments of, the priceless moments I've been able to have. And there's some other things that I love to keep, like my first Kanye West. I'll never sell that because he's one of my favorites, and that's just something I like music and stuff, so I know where to draw the line. But another thing social media has done, and I cannot believe I'm going to talk about this, but the whole one-upping thing is insanity. There's this guy named Pat Wong who's in the Bay Area. I'm going to give him a little bit of props here. He's a good grapher, and he started this whole thing called the one-upping, and it's been carrying over in the entire United States. Like, from someone that is from Northern California to make that much damage in the autograph community, it's pretty amazing to see that one-upping is being used in other cities, and everyone is asking us about Pat Wong, which is hilarious to me. It does the whole one up, ding and dong, so it's pretty funny. But that's a big thing we need to talk about. Dude, the autograph community is all about one-upping now. People are trying to one-up on, hey, I got multiple Lucas, or I got, 5 Jaren Jacksons, I got 14 Anthony Simons, you only got 12, one up. It's kind of funny to see how that can be a little divide. It's like autographing has become a competition. It's like, dude, there's no golden ticket at the end. Like, you're not going to be admitted into Autograph University with a bachelor's and bullshit, right? But seriously, it's kind of crazy how it's changed. People are super trying to get into competitiveness of like, hey, I'm a better grapher than you, which I'm going to tell you that, like, I don't believe in better graphing. I believe in, if you put the time in, you will probably get what you need to get done. It's all luck though. It's all about time and place. And if a player is in the mood to sign, then you're golden. But if you're not in the right time and place, then you're screwed. Some people have work, or you have the kids to take care of, or you want to go get laid and stuff like that. Then obviously you're not always going to get the ink. And like, dude, I've been there firsthand. Like, I have left autographing to get laid or to go have fun. That's, it's life, man. Come on, you gotta have some fun. You can't be chasing the ink all day. And that's what people try to tell me. They try to tell me like, hey, you should keep a balance out. And I think I'm as balanced as I've ever been with autographing and everything else, which is pretty cool. I noticed that when I'm like more invested in autographing on these trips, that it's more down to business. I'm more, I'm pretty laid back though. Like when we go to Tahoe, it's always pretty chill. But the whole one-upping thing is kind of becoming a fad, which is kind of annoying, but it's almost hilarious. So, and that's a social media gig right there if you think about it. And another thing is the team hotel, man. How many kids are skipping school to get autographs? I'm gonna tell you right now that in high school I never skipped school for an autograph one time. And then when I was in college in Los Angeles, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, like I did skip class every once in a while, but you know what, it wasn't required, okay? And it was psychology, and I got an A, so we'll take it. But anyway, like in LA it was kind of easier to skip class and get autographs. There's so many kids in my class, Santa Monica College, but it was fun out there. But yeah, a lot of kids skip school now, man, and that's kind of a fad. That was like an absolute no-no for me. My mom and dad were like freaked out that I was even collecting autographs. Like my dad is like totally freaked out by this shit. He thinks it's absurd. My mom thinks it's cool, which is respectable. I can take that. But my dad is just like, you know what? I'm not paying any money for it, so I'm happy. And that I like seeing father and son graphs. I respect that. There's a father and son combo in LA that I really like. There's two of them actually. My buddy Adrian and his son, little Adrian, and then there's Ryan and Carter, who are really great guys, good graphers. I've known them since the beginning. I've noticed that the people in Los Angeles that I autograph with, I got along with the best out of any of my autograph friends that I have. Like I can't explain the chemistry I had with all these people. We played basketball together, we ate out, and we were like socially like there, all of us. Like, see, that to me was cool. That was the father and son combos that are like enjoying it and having fun with it. That's dope. But like when parents are out there bringing their kids out skipping school and each kid's got an authentic jersey in their hand, I think it's a little different. But I'm obviously not a parent, not that I know of, but it's just pretty interesting to see. I always wonder, like Greg Popovich, when he's like signing for kids, if he like wonders like to know that like these players have to know like the parents are like obviously pimping the kids out. Like, let's be real, we gotta open it up, dude. Parents are pimping their kids out, like most of the time, and like I have nothing wrong with that. Like I think it's hilarious sometimes, and when a player doesn't sign, I think that's even crazier. But I think for a kid to get that experience it means the most. I would rather have a kid get an autograph than myself, and it wasn't always like that. When I was in high school, I still thought I was a kid still. I was like 14, 15 years old graphing, but I always felt like, nobody could bully me around. I'm the kid. But then as I grew up, it was kind of like, dang. And I was also a big kid, so it was different. Like Carson, Sportsgraphs 12, like racks, dude. I've witnessed that kid racking since my beginning in LA, and he is no joke. He's a little racker. Him and Crocker, Matthew Crocker, there's another good guy. They rack, dude. They pull it off. So I don't know, man. The whole autograph game has changed. Social media affects it, and like all this other stuff. All these kids out there. Like I wasn't a kid, right? I have no animosity toward any of these situations. I'm not like hating or any of that stuff. I think it's just me observing the situations. I think we should spread more positivity than hate, but unfortunately, it doesn't always happen. There's a lot of there's some turf wars too, man. It used to be really bad turf wars, and what I mean by turf wars is like people come down from one city to come graph in your city. And I think back when I'm talking about turf wars, and I almost realized today it's not about turf wars. I think it's just if someone wants to put the time in and they want to drive down and take that risk, then they're taking their chance. Like I can't BS that. I've taken many risks, dude. I went to Napa last year. I went to the Bay Area for Luca, and I took that risk, man. I wasted almost 8 hours, and I pulled out 3 Lucas, but at the same time, it's like, dude, if I would have gotten nothing, I would have been miserable. One time I was going down to the Bay Area, I was going for Mike Trout. So it's myself and my 2 other grapher friends, older guys that I graph with, and we go down for Mike Trout, and, we're messing around. My friend and I are, figuring out a way to get Mike Trout, and I'm so stupid. I'm on the wrong side, and I'm kind of out of it, and let me just tell you, we didn't make great decisions before we went to graph, and when I went to graph, we're watching Mike Trout signing autographs. It's the most haunting feeling in the world is to watch a player sign autographs and you're not there, especially if you're going for him. I'm watching Mike Trout sign. He literally signed for one of my friends, and then myself and the other guy basically didn't get Mike Trout, and I said to myself, I'll never go to the Bay Area again. And that was the truth until I went for Roger Waters and broke my streak. That haunted me. And the other guy we were with wanted to stay and watch the game, and I was just done. I was so maxed out. I was pissed. I didn't get Mike Trout. This was years ago, but it still haunted me. It bothered me so much that I put that time and drove to the Bay with these guys, and only one of us got him. Like, if we would have been following directions and went with our grapher friend who's been around for a while, we would have been fine. And that's one of those things, like, that's risky, like, on my part, and for me to not go back to the Bay because of that bad experience. Like, I've learned my lesson. Like, now I know today, if I don't get someone, it is like I have to bite my lip and say, you know what, it is what it is, right? It's that Max Holloway mentality, the UFC fighter, is what it is, man. But it's the truth. Like, I take the risk, and I know when people take the risk to come down here or whatever, they're taking that risk, the same risk I would take, right? If I go down to the Bay, right? So I get that. So turf wars isn't really a big deal. It was kind of a big deal when I first started graphing. It was kind of like a weird thing to see the Bay Area people coming here and like watching. It was like when I was like people in Milwaukee and Chicago, like it's that far, like people would come down, and like I don't think anybody takes it personal. I think if you just remain civil and cool and positive, like I'm gonna remain cool if you're cool, and if you're not cool with me, I'm still gonna remain cool, right? That's like a quote from a grapher out here. Like, that's the truth. I'll be cool no matter what, and I gotta keep a cool head, because who cares? At the end of the day, we're all doing the same thing. We're chasing grown men for autographs. I always make that joke and people don't get it. They act like I'm like insulting us, which I kind of am, but I'm doing the same thing. Who cares, bro? So yeah, autographing has changed a lot. I've talked about social media. Obviously, Autographs 101, like that ruined a lot, but it also set up a lot. Those friendships I have with all these people is priceless, and I get to do these podcasts, and I get to interact with graphers and go to different cities, and people get to house me, and they'll show me like the best restaurants to eat at in, Arizona and Los Angeles and all these other places I get to go, in San Jose. They're like, hey, let's go eat here. And I, get a bunch of graphers together. I mean, it's a yin and yang thing for me. Like, it's like a flip of a coin. Part of me knows that social media, with my YouTube recaps and Instagram and all this stuff, part of me knows that, like, yeah, in a way it could harm it, but everyone else it's one of those things like, oh, everyone else is doing it, so I would do it, right? Well, would you jump off a bridge, Jay? I mean, that's the true question, right? But it's one of those things. I enjoy this, and I don't know how long I'm going to be doing this for, who knows? But what I do know is I enjoy this. I think it's fun. I think the autograph community is pretty cool to interact with, and it's people make I'm going to say this right now, people make plenty of freaking money selling on social media. If anything, you took away all your eBay fees and you got to trade with trusted sellers, you know. I know Rack and all these other groups do trusted sellers, and there's just a lot of vouching going on, you know. There's Sports Collector, Sports Card Forum, there's a ton of websites. And look at all the TTM people, you know, there's little groups for that, and all the set collectors, you know. There's positives and there's clearly negatives. I mean, this is such an open water topic because there's a lot of good, there's a lot of bad, and there's a lot of good with it, you know. You got to take it for what it is. There's nothing, you can't stop or build awareness. All you can really do is just kind of, you know, be a part of it, or just dislike it and don't be a part of it, and that's fine. But I think every autographer, even if you're a huge seller, you do have, I want to say, like, in a way, everyone has an ego, but there's a form of sharing your autographs where I mean, I've done it, it's you show off, you know, but at the same time, you're sharing your autograph experience. If I had a cool experience, I will share it in a video or a post, and I'll explain it, you know. I'm like, oh my God, I cannot believe I got this, you know, Clint Eastwood last night or something, you know, or the photo ops that are priceless, and, you know, someone passes away, that's like priceless. So it's an interesting topic, but I mean, this is episode 1 of the podcast, and you know, I think that's all I got for today. So I will talk to you guys on the next podcast. We're going to try to do a couple of these and see if I can upload to iTunes or Spotify, whatever's easiest. Even YouTube might work. So I will talk to you guys for the next podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed. I don't think there's any leaving likes or any of that, but if you want to follow me on social media, Mojo Autographs. And if you guys got any topics you want me to talk about or touch on, or I'll bring a guest speaker on, I will gladly do that in the coming episodes. We're going to start bringing guest speakers in. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for listening. Bye.